Hello, this is JRoach82 coming at you from Hammond, Indiana, and I just got back from going back to my home state in Louisiana and stuff. It was pretty cool. So anyway, I'm going to be addressing one thing and one thing only from a friend of mine. Silicone dolls versus mail order brides. Okay, all right. Now, here's the thing, right? Mail order brides are cool, all right? A lot of guys like Russian women. You know, Russian women are bombshells. They're pretty hot and stuff, you know. I mean, women with exotic names like Asana or Tatiana, you know, Olga. You know, even though Olga sounds like an old Swedish woman that wants to do a massage, like, I will do a massage for you. My Russian accent, my Swedish accent just don't work, so forget it. Mail order brides, if you're rich, you can afford them, okay? You can't really save for mail order brides like you can for a doll. You know, dolls you could save. You can have a savings account and, like, you know, just blow your whole savings account on a real doll or a synthetic or, you know, other types of dolls out there. There's many dolls. But with a mail order bride, expect not to have that savings account anymore because you're going to have to add money to the government. Because the government's going to want money from you because they want you to make sure, first you got to pay for the visa for her to come to the country. Well, first, before that, you have to go to her country to see her. And I don't think you want to go to Russia to see some girl that might not even click, you know, unless you've been talking to her on some dating website like Anastasia Date and stuff. And you also got to be careful with scammers because there's a lot of scammers out there who will try to con you for money. And maybe back in the 1800s, mail order brides was the shit, but like nowadays, you don't want to deal with all that headaches and stuff, you know. Especially if she finds out that you're some poor guy and stuff that lives in a little small town in Hickville somewhere. I don't think she's going to actually take into consideration your feelings because she's going to be too busy worrying about her feelings living in a small town. When in Russia, she was like really, really ritzy. You know, she was eating, you know, caviar and, you know, whining and dining with the who's who of Russia. And now she's stuck with you in Hicksville with a pig named Oscar, and, you know, it just don't work, you know. So, in conclusion, I think it'd be better. I think that with mail order brides, you got to feed them and you got to feed yourself. If you're lonely, get a doll. You know, seriously, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's a lot of people on YouTube who say, "Oh, that's sick." Well, you know what? Get a life. It's the new thing these days. You know, people have been having sex with dolls for since the 40s, dude. Look into history. You know, Dutch wives. Okay. Seriously, Dutch wives. You know what they are? Sex dolls. You know what they were for? They were for soldiers during World War II who need to get aroused. They need to get a hard-on to think because they want to keep them aroused. Okay, so get over yourself. All right, anyway, I actually would go with the real doll or synthetic or whatever doll website you choose, then go out with a Russian girl who is going to take all your money and then divorce you for a doctor and, you know, stuff like that. Because think of all the money you're going to be forking out, okay? First you got to buy her a visa. You know, you got to buy her a visa to come to America. And then after that, you got to keep on giving the government more money to get your marriage recognized by the state you live in or by their standards. So it's kind of like, and you know, people, you know, kind of would look at you in a whole different light, you know, as some sorry sack of shit who went out with a Russian bride. But to me, you know, I think Russian brides are pretty hot. You know, I've seen some of these Russian brides. I checked out some websites. I mean, do I want to go out with them personally? No. But, I mean, some of their pictures are pretty hot. I mean, they're pretty good looking and stuff. But I wouldn't want to spend all that money on, you know, someone that's not going to like it here. You know, she might look at this country and say, I like it better in Russia. You know, I mean, so you got to think about that. And also, let's say you're on meds, okay? Let's say you get money from the government, okay? You know damn well if you get money from the government, you ain't going to be able to afford, like, buying a mail-order bride, okay? Ain't going to work. You know, I mean, your best bet is go out with a girl who's around your area. You know, you can go to colleges and stuff, and they probably got some Russian girls at colleges who are on a visa and stuff, you know, a student visa. Maybe you can hook up with one of those. You know, but your best bet is if you're lonely, if you're that lonely, that depressed, get a real doll. That's all I got to say. This is Jerry Roach 82 signing out. Remember, if you see a flying spaghetti monster, stick a fork in it and eat it. It's delicious. Peace. God damn it, how did I turn this off?